Hello again, everybody. This is Brett. I've got another Bible review here for you today. Today I am going to do a review on the New American Standard Bible, large print, ultra thin reference Bible by Lockman. They call this the LPUT, LPUT for the large print, ultra thin. This is a pretty rare Bible. It's hard to find. You can find them on eBay, but they are out of print. And so I was able to actually had a friend of mine send me this, and so I could review it. And I'm going to go ahead and send it back to him when I'm done. And I just wanted to give a shout out to anybody that is interested in how I may review or rank a Bible. Go ahead and leave a comment below, and I will respond. And if I can pick one up, I will. I've had some requests already, and I'm going to go ahead and review those. And please like and subscribe if you do get something out of these videos. I hope that these are helpful for people to get a better and clearer understanding of what exactly they're going to get in these Bibles before they buy them. Because a lot of times you got to buy them on eBay and there's no return. And so I know how frustrating that can be when you think you're going to get one thing and you end up getting another. So let's get right into it here. This is the box that the NASB LPUT comes in, and there's two versions of these. There is the 2007 printing, and there's also the 2003 printing. They're very similar. They're both going to be center column cross references. They claim the trim size is 6.5 by 9.25 by 1 inch, but the measurements, when you measure the outside dimensions, are different than that. So I think, it's hard sometimes when you see trim size, you think that would be the outside dimensions, but I believe what they're doing is just measuring the text block itself, so not including the cover, because it is quite a bit bigger, and I'll show you what the dimensions are in a minute. This is just a very simple Bible, black letter, 8 full-page color maps, which are the NASB maps that you find in all the NASB Lockman Bibles, or most of them anyway. They're nothing special about them. They are good maps, but just nothing really unique or special. And then there's, of course, the presentation page and family records. So that's what you're going to get on the box. They do come in this like velvet cover, which is pretty nice. So the Bible slides right in there. And this is the Bible. This is a calf skin. This is the 2007 printing. So I'm told that the cover, the calfskin cover on the 2003 printing, is supposed to have a better cover. I think it's done, I'm told, by ABBA Binderies in Mexico, or at least it was done by ABBA Binderies in Mexico. And then they switched over and they had it done in China. And this isn't as good a quality as a cover. Now, I have to say this is actually pretty nice cover. This one has been used a little bit. I'm not sure if this is part of the grain of the cowhide. It might be, or if it was a scuff or something that happened, but it almost looks like it's part of the hide there. But anyway, most of them are just a real nice smooth cover like this. They have the raised ribs on the spine. Very clean stamping on the spine as well, as you can see there. They come with one ribbon, so they're not super special in that regard. And then it's just a gilt, standard gilt edges with no art gilt, just gold gilt edges. It's got a black and a gold headband and tailband, and it is Smith sewn. They've got the tooled edge around the perimeter there, which is nice. It's not stitched or anything, but it is pasted on the other side, and it's got that nice tooled edge, just gives it a clean look. The measurements on this are 9 3/4 tall, and then 7 inches wide. And again, this is, I just take a tape measure and I go from outside to outside. See, there is a bit of a yap there. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't call this a yap per se, but they're calling this, the width on this, 6.5. So this isn't, I don't believe this is worth a 1/2 inch of edge here and over here. So I'm not sure where they're getting that extra 1/2 inch. It's definitely measuring 7 inches. So there's a discrepancy there. And then it is 1 5/8 inches thick. So they're calling this 1 inch thick. I mean, it's not 1 inch thick. It's not even 1 inch thick if you were to measure just the text block. So it's 1 5/8 inches actually. And then when you open it up, it's 12 inches from this end of the page all the way to this end of the page. So it has got quite a big footprint when you open it up. And it is about 3 pounds. It's not too heavy of a Bible for this big of a Bible. I was expecting it to be heavier. The closest Bible that I would compare this to that's similar is the Schuyler New King James Version, and I do have a detailed review and ranking of this Bible, and I'll put a link to it in the description below there for you. But the Schuyler is actually a bit heavier than this, so I was kind of surprised by that. They're very close in weight, though. They're both 3 to 3.2, 3.3 pounds. I know the Schuyler's, I think, 3.3 pounds, 3.4 pounds, if I remember correctly. And this is just the same, maybe even a little bit lighter. But you can see this one is quite a bit wider. The Schuyler was 6 and, let me get the measurements here. The Schuyler measures 6 5/8 inches wide, and this one is 7 inches wide. So it's a bit wider, and they're about the same thickness and the same height. They're both 9 3/4 inches high. So that's the closest Bible that it's going to compare to. Now, moving inside on this, again, it doesn't have the art gilt edges, but it's a cool thing about this is that it is a verse by verse, and it also has French milled paper. So that's the claim to fame on this Bible, is it's French milled paper, and it is a super nice paper. I'm not exactly sure what all goes into the process on that, but if it's anything like French milled soap, it has to do with them pressing and flattening it out. They kind of put all the, with the soap, I know they put the substance together and they compact it, very, very tightly, and then they run it through these presses like a number of times to get it super, super thin and super dense. And maybe that has something to do with this paper process. I don't know, but I do know it's very opaque. It's very hefty. I mean, this is the best paper I've seen in any Bible, really. The Schuyler comes pretty close to it, and the Schuyler, practically speaking, I think the Schuyler is almost the same. I mean, as far as reading, because the Schuyler is line matched, and this is a 36 GSM Prima Bible paper on this one, but you can see it's line matched, so you do see the ghosting there, but because it's line matched, it's very easy to read. So you can see kind of the difference. There's the Schuyler. Give you an opportunity to see how easy that is to read. And then it's an 11-point font compared to the Lockman NASB LPUT, and it's a 10-point font, a little bit smaller font. There's almost zero ghosting on this, so it doesn't really matter about the line matching. So it's easy to read, and it does stand out. But you're not going to find, see, there's a little ghosting you can see there, but I don't see a huge difference just in terms of reading this between this and the Schuyler. So the Schuyler's you can find, which is why I'm doing this. Is so if you can't find this, but you want something that comes really close to it, check out the Schuyler Quintels on evangelicalbible.com. So, but the paper is just extremely nice on this. If you could find one of these, I think the best opportunity for one of these Bibles is if you could find one. If you could find one in good shape, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. I mean, they're going for $250 and higher. I've seen them on eBay. So I was very fortunate that I was able to borrow this one for the review. But the Schuyler's, you can get those used for $150. You can get them brand new for $200 to $220. There's not a lot of good features on this Bible. In fact, hardly any. Like I mentioned, there's just maps. There's a standard NASB concordance. There's some maps, and then there's just some blank paper at the end. So it is an edge-lined, by the way. I didn't mention that earlier. It's an edge-lined binding, calfskin, black calfskin binding. So let's go ahead and do the rankings on this. I went ahead and applied this to my ranking system, which there's also a link in the description below for that as well. And that is a ranking system designed to find Bibles that are both readable and portable. So this one gets in the first category for portability, this gets a 2. It's not extremely portable, as you can see. Readability gets a 5. It's extremely readable. Really nice size 10-point font, verse by verse, and then the French milled paper is outstanding. So very readable Bible. Cover and binding, I give it a 4 because it's nice, and especially if you can find the 2003, it's a very nice cover and binding. Black calf skin, really smooth and supple. It's very flexible, nice. You can roll it up, you know, real nice cover. Design and creativity on the text block, I do give it a 4, and that's mainly because of the French milled paper and how nice it is to read. I like the verse by verse format on it. It doesn't have any kind of unique typeset or anything like that. There's not a super creative design about the text itself, and it's not doesn't have art gilt edges. It's just a standard gilt edge. But overall, I think it's a decent design. So I'll give it a 4. Beauty and craftsmanship gets a 3.5. There's nothing super special about the beauty and craftsmanship on this. I mean, it does have a nice tail and headband. It's got one ribbon. It is a nice ribbon, and there's nothing super special other than that. Unique features is a 2 because it doesn't have really any unique features. And then, of course, rarity, it gets a 5 because this is extremely hard to come by anymore. So the total score on this is a 25.5. Hope you enjoyed the review. Again, please like and subscribe if this was helpful to you. And God bless. I'll be making some more videos later, so stay tuned.